I've kind of really enjoyed it, and just been able to enjoy football and not have the 5 days a week training all day, every day, and have to watch everything that goes into my body all the time. And I'm enjoying myself at the moment, so hopefully we can get a third one this year.
That was the voice of Cameron Cloke, of course, former AFL player with the Blues, the Pies and Port Adelaide, playing with Bundoora. We caught up with him last week on our local locker room. Today we're going to be chatting to ex-Carlton captain and all-Australian player Lance Whitnell, who's now coaching the Glenroy Football Club out there in the Essendon District Football League. Also, our local Legend Series is going to feature local footy journeyman Danny Cassette, 1,600-plus goals for 17 different clubs, an amazing journey over 20 years. The man certainly has some stories behind that career, and we'll catch up with him in the next 20 minutes or so. And I need to do it with my co-host, of course, Ben Giles from sportsupport.com.au. We've been doing the show for about a month now. Welcome, Benny. Good to see you.
Yeah, how are you, Brett?
Going nicely. We might just, as we normally do, for those that haven't caught up what we're doing, we're talking a bit of local footy. We're building up to, obviously, a lot of leagues starting their seasons around about that first week of April, and there's a lot going on, and we try and condense it into about half an hour each week.
Yeah, there is. At this time of year, there's a lot of transfers and there's a lot of rumours, and we try to discuss those. We've also run a couple of competitions this week, which have got a lot of traction on the social media site. So head to facebook.com/sportsupport. You'll be able to see a few of the Wounded Warriors.
All right, excellent stuff. Now, what we normally do off the top is we get around to a few of the leagues and just find out what is happening, because it seems like more and more ex-AFL guys are coming back into local footy, and there's lots of movement within the local footy leagues themselves, guys coming down from the country, interstate. People want to know what's happening over there. You can, of course, jump in on the SMS as well, 0433 98 11 16. You can even give us a buzz, 9429 11 16. But Evo's our man on the ground when it comes to the Western Region Football League, and he joins us. G'day, Evo.
G'day, boys. What's going on?
Oh, we're just kicking back, enjoying the nice view out here in Richmond. Beautiful day, Evo. You're our sleuth out there in the west. Ex-Hawthorn and Essendon player Danny Jacobs will be very familiar, of course. Played 150 games in the system. He looks like he might be coming back to play.
Yeah, he's going back to his original club of a few years back in Port Colt. So that's confirmed. I think the only stipulation is he's going to play in the forward line, so Jesus up his body a little bit. But yeah, he's going back to Port Colt this year, which is a massive boost for Port Colt, who probably had their worst year they've had in probably a decade. They're a perennial grand finalist and premiership side over the last 10 years in WRFL Division 1. So this will boost them back up the list and hopefully get on the top end of the ladder.
Yeah, that's great for the Port Colts. And also ex-Williamtown VFL player Dion Lawson. Looks like he's made a move. Is that right?
After playing a couple of years up country, up at Trentham, and I think at a Kyneton, I think he played for a year. He's gone to St Albans in Division 1 of the WRFL as well. So he'd pretty easily slot into the top 4 or 5 on ballers in the comp. So he's a quality player, and of course his younger brother, who's out with a knee at the moment, is just signed assistant coach at Manor Lakes in Division 2. So hopefully Manor Lakes don't win it, and then they don't have to play against each other.
Indeed. Evo, what else are you hearing around the traps of the WRFL this week?
Oh, it's probably not so much in the WRFL, but there's a young fella by the name of Jay Reynolds who plays out at Frankston Bombers, who's obviously a fair way away from the Western region. He's apparently impressed the eyes of the Fox 8 producers in that the recruit show. So maybe we've got our first confirmed recruit on the line there for Fox 8. So look, he's a quality player. He's played a fair bit of state bit country footy and around the traps in Queensland and also Canberra. So, yeah, it's good to see him hopefully get another go and hopefully get into the system.
I think, is that the show that Michael Voss is going to be involved in, I think?
Could very well be. I think Michael Voss and a few others, but yeah, it's the one run by, Fox 8.
All right, we'll keep an eye on that. Good on you, Evo. Really appreciate your time.
No worries, guys. Have a good day.
Evo's our sleuth out there, the Western Region Football League. I keep mentioning the basketball at the Cage today. Apologies, it is a Hisense Arena. We'll be broadcasting live, so if you've got tickets, Hisense Arena, if you're thinking about going to the basketball at 2 o'clock, the Melbourne Tigers and the Adelaide 36ers. Now, our man on the ground with the EDFL, the Essendon District Football League, is Jacob. Come in, Jacob, at 1:10.
Afternoon, lads. How you going?
Going very well. Daniel Johns returning to Strathmore, we believe, Jacob.
Daniel Jones, the former ruckman who featured pretty well in the Best in Comp voting in 2012 or even 2011 maybe, around that time, has returned to, believed to have returned to Strathmore. He's back training with the boys. So after a year out at Marcelin, I think he went out there to play with his brother, but he's obviously moved back to Strathmore. Yes, that's a big get. He's probably one of the better players in the competition.
We also confirmed that Kyle Ramers was heading to Aberfeldy, and it looks as though they've also secured another quality midfielder, Trav Lenardi. Is there anything you can tell us about him?
Yeah, well, the transfer went through for Trav Lenardi, who joined a couple of mates out at Altona after some. I think he might have played. He definitely played for the Western Jets, but he would have might have played a bit of VFL footy for Werribee for 1 or 2 years, a few years back. So that's another good get for Aberfeldy that really strengthens their midfield with obviously Reimers and the Mark Lynch saga sort of finished with the transfer being approved and to join Cabillo and Patak and the rest of the boys have already got in there. So. They're going from strength to strength.
Jacob, just in terms of departures, I mean, obviously, there's lots going on the transfer and the clearance list of lots of different leagues, but Pascoe Vale, maybe in particular, might have lost a few players, we're hearing?
Yeah, well, it seems that they've lost sort of most of their 2013 recruits.
Right.
A lot of their guys that they picked up from sort of B-grade EDFL clubs like Jesse Davies and Robbie Mullins and all that, they've both returned back to their local clubs in Craigieburn and West Meadows. Alex McLeod, who went out there for a year, has signed with Anthony Rock at St Bernard. So they've sort of lost a lot of their depth from a lot of their junior sort of players, like even the Moroli brothers who are favourite sons of the clubs that have, obviously don't like the direction that the club's going in, so they've decided to move on as well. So one of their better players in Vinny Randello, who's a premiership player at Greenvale, has moved up to the bush as well. So they've lost a lot of, most of their side, which is a little bit disappointing for them.
Disappointing indeed. You want to hang on to blokes after they've only been there a year.
Yeah.
Jacob, appreciate it. EDFL, Essendon District Football League, strong competition, lots of movement going on, and really appreciate some of those insights today.
Yeah, no worries. Cheers, boys.
Jacob is our sleuth out there in the Essendon District Football League. 9429 11 16, 0433 98 11 16 on the SMS. Facebook.com/sports support. Log on, join the conversation. This is the Local Locker Room. If you haven't tuned in before, we are talking all things local footy, and we'll talk up with one of the great legends, of course, in Lance Whitnell of AFL footy, now going around at Glenroy a little bit later on. Danny Cassette, who's been around local footy for quite some time. But we're going to head north, Ben. Our NFL sleuth, Hallie, is on the line. Andrew, g'day, Hallie.
Hey guys, how are you?
Going all right, thank you.
Hallie,
that's right. There seems to be a bit of movement from St Mary's and Mernda, you can tell me.
Oh, look, they're the most active two clubs at the moment. The clearances would be St Mary's and Mernda. 23 clearances, both of them have got in to come to the club. So both clubs that looks like it'll have a different shape to both sides.
Yeah, that's interesting. And it looks like Greensborough have nabbed Andrew Stella from Premier's Bundoora.
Yeah, they've got a little bit of movement, and I think they're just stocking up their side quite nicely, Greensborough.
Andrew Stella. Gee, I recognised coaching junior footy years ago, and he might have played back around that area, Greensborough, Bundoora area. Andrew Stella, just
he's a local, yeah.
Yeah, it rings a bell. He's been going for a while. We did notice a clearance at Diamond Creek from three men actually competing, I think, in the King Island Football Association.
Yeah.
Give us a bit more info on that.
Well, it got me curious. I saw a King Island Football Association clearance, so I did some investigating, and there is a three-team association down in the remote island off Tasmania, and Norths, Grassy and Curry, they play 10 games a year, and they've been around since 1908, and it's the smallest competition around, and it was quite curious and interesting, and Diamond Creek have picked up a lad from out there.
There you go. They'd be familiar with each other's game plan.
They would. And with a bye every second week, it'll work out all right, though, wouldn't it?
Actually, I think Alice Springs only used to have 5 teams, and they expanded now to all the outlying districts, taking sort of Yendamu, where Liam Jarrah was from. Now they have a 10-team comp. You used to play each other, 3 or 4 times a year?
Very interesting fact, Andrew. Very, very interesting fact. So.
Andrew, anything else out in the NFL before we let you go?
No, look, I think we're going to hear some more in the next couple of weeks, but with practice matches starting in the next month, things will get finalised over the next few weeks.
All right, great stuff. Andrew, our sleuth out there covering the NFL. 9429 11 16. We'll get to some SMS traffic. Darren Jolly will be playing for Bond Beach in the Mornington Peninsula Nepean Football League this year, according to one SMS.
Yeah, there you go. So if anybody's got any truth behind that or can put some substance, just get onto on the Facebook page and let us know.
Benny, Wounded Warrior competition. Tell us more about this.
Oh, look, there were some unbelievably cringeworthy images that popped up over the week, I must say. So we ran a competition to try and highlight that we are doing some medical stuff this year. And what we did was we said, send in your pics of your worst Wounded Warrior shot. And there was broken arms and there was a whole heap of things that come through, fingers that were poking out and a whole heap of bones and all that sort of stuff. So there was one that was particularly shocking, I suppose. It was from a match where Glenroy played Tullamarine. Yeah. The post was actually put through from a guy from Glenroy, but we just thought the poor bloke from Tullamarine deserved a bit of a prize as well. So if he can jump on to sportsupport.com.au, go to the free visit page and fill in his details, we'll be happy to supply the club with a $50 medical voucher and a medical startup kit.
All right, beautiful stuff. All thanks to sportsupport.com.au. If you're a local club out there, bar, canteen, merchandise, anything you need to actually manage your club as you build up now, and clubs frantically, presidents, secretaries going around trying to put all the finishing touches to the preparations. Log on sportsupport.com.au because you've also got medical supplies, which are very, very handy. The trainers would love you at this time of the year.
Yeah, there is. Look, it's something that we've partnered with a company called MediPro for season 2014. Now, I know firsthand that medical supplies can be a huge burden on clubs' finances, and coupled with the convenient delivery service we've got, and as you previously mentioned there, Brett, we've seemed to find a perfect fit with this company. And probably just to fill us in a little bit more about the business, we've got the director of MediPro on the line now. So we've got Tim. Thanks for joining us, Tim.
You're welcome, Ben.
Yeah, nice to speak to you, mate. Can you tell us a bit about MediPro, Tim? How does it all work?
Well, we used to be involved in another business, and Dale in my office, or my business partner really, spotted this factory that was producing tape, and he's actually a coach of his own team, and realised how much they were spending on their supplies. And over about 7 or 8 years, we've sort of developed this product, and we followed all the way through from manufacturing to the end product, making sure the glue's perfect, and every trainer is very spot on about what they want from their tape. So we've had lots of feedback along the way, and we've got a terrific product now, and we have a whole range of medical supplies and save, without all the middleman, we can save the club 30-40% on what they've been used to spending.
Yeah, sensational. Now, I know Tim has been quite successful as a product in Adelaide for several years. You've got a lot of clubs in South Australia that have really taken to your product and are using it, obviously, extensively.
Well, we're supplying over 200 clubs now, and actually it's much broader than that, from Western Australia up into some rugby clubs in Queensland and through Victoria as well, a lot of them around Shepparton. And, end of the day, no club's got enough money. You've got to turn a lot of sausages to pay for your supplies, and anything you can save helps. And we've always been club people, and it's a good thing to it's a win-win situation, really.
Now, I'm hearing you, Tim, as someone that runs a club. It's all about saving a couple of dollars. So I imagine you must receive some pretty good feedback then, because that's what clubs are looking for, aren't they? Anywhere they can get good product, but also be saving a few dollars.
Well, they only want the best product, and because we haven't got all the middlemen that most suppliers are straddled with, we actually, it's our own tape. We just save so much money along the way, and it's a different business model really, where we're not trying to pump up the price to give basically phone deals on contracts. We're just supplying a good product at the fair price. Really, people were paying too much before.
Yep, absolutely. Well, Tim, people can log on, of course, sportsupport.com.au and check out the MediPro products and all the medical supplies that you've got. Really appreciate you coming on and telling us a bit about it.
Thanks. It's a great fit for us, and we hope it works out well for everybody.
Good on you, Tim, who's the director of MediPro, highly regarded there, Benny. And we're going to give away a prize, aren't we? Tell us about it.
Yeah, we are. So thanks to MediPro and Sports Shots Nutrition, we can announce a winner for the Wounded Warrior competition with 503 votes.
Yes.
I can tell you, right behind it, the boys at Laylor. There's no doubt about it. Todd Hughes, you're on the line. Thanks for joining us, Toddy.
Thanks for having me.
Congratulations, mate. It's a nice little prize for the club. You've done well.
Yeah, it's $2,000 worth of stuff. It's going to go a long way to helping us this year. So, yeah, thanks to MediPro for that. So, yeah, cheers.
It was a nasty-looking injury there, mate. Did the nostril recover at all?
Yeah, ended up, the end result, I got 13 stitches, about 5 or 6 internal ones, and only missed 1 week of footy, so it wasn't too bad in the end.
Very good. And you're a Layla boy too, Todd. How are the boys shaping up? I believe you've got a new coach. There's a new direction. It's always pretty positive, isn't it, at this time of the year? But how's the pre-season unfolded?
Yeah, that's it. It's been pretty tough this year. A lot of running and that. The club's appointed Stephen Marshall as the new coach. He's played over 200 odd games at Layla and one of the club legends. So everyone's getting behind him. There's been a lot more numbers this year and that. So hopefully this year we aim to play finals at the end of the year.
Yeah, nice. We've got a couple of practice games coming up.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I know we've got one against Glenroy on the 22nd, and I think on the 15th we've got up the bush somewhere. So
all right,
sort of a camp and one night stay sort of thing. So yeah.
Oh, fantastic, Toddy. Look, thanks for joining us, mate. And for anybody else out there, if you do want to see Toddy's nostril and the boot stud and what the result was, just jump on to sportsupport.com.au, click on the Facebook tile, and you'll be able to have a look at his schnoz.
All right.
Nice
work.
thanks,
Yeah, I'd love to have a look at that. It's been a good little competition, the Wounded Warrior competition, and lots of votes coming in. Just before the break, just to go on to that, earlier there was a close battle between North Heidelberg's Shane Harvey's unfortunate finger mishap in last year's final series. Just tell us more about that.
Yeah, there was. Early on in the week, there was a bit of a battle. They were sort of neck and neck with 100 and 200. I think Toddy's missus might have got behind the whole thing a little bit more than the boys at North. But look, we'd like to give them a $50 medical voucher and a startup pack as well. And further to that, anybody who entered the competition, just get on to sportsupport.com.au, fill in your details at the free link, and we'll give you all a $50 medical voucher, and we'll also give you a startup pack as well.
All right, great stuff. We'll come back with more of the local locker room thanks to sportsupport.com.au. Lance Whitnell, the former Blues, going to join us. Danny Cassette, of course, has been playing a lot of local footy for a number of years, also as part of our Legion series. We'll get to a few of the SMSs, but log on, sportsupport.com.au, and head to the Facebook tile. Join the conversation that continues right throughout the week as we look at all the leagues and how they're shaping up for 2014. Back in just a moment.
Hungry for Sport with Kevin Bartlett.
It's been a big week on the show. Robert Craddock gave us an insight to the selection of Shaun Marsh.
Lehman wanted him in. He said, I've coached him in the Indian Premier League and I will bring the best out of him. So it's a wonderful result for him.
And Dave Colbert had this advice for Athletics Australia.
If we can't get excited as a sport about a young girl who is producing the best ever run, the fastest ever run by an Australian woman ever, then shut up shop.
I'll catch you on Monday along with Patrick Smith and your calls. And there is a doctor in the house.
Hungry for Sport with Kevin Bartlett for the new Zenon Dual Cab 4x4. Made tough in India, made perfect for Australia. 9 till midday weekdays on 1116 SEN. Melbourne's home of sports.
Car City's website is awesome, but nothing compares to experiencing Car City in person. It's massive! A huge 10 acres bursting with up to 2,000 used and late model cars. Plus, Car City offers instant on-site finance, so you can have the car you want now. T's and C's apply. Check them out online, carcity.com.au, and make sure you visit to experience the huge Car City difference. Your eyes open for the bargain. Car City.
415 Maroondah Highway, Ringwood.
At the Link Group, we've been putting metal roofs over the heads of Victorians for over 13 years. In fact, over 10,000 families are now living under a Link roof. From new homes by leading builders like Porter Davis Homes to re-roofing your existing home, every roof we install is made from the highest grade BlueScope steel. So when you're ready to put a new roof over your family, get on the phone to the Link Group. Re-roof or new roof, get the right roof with Link. The Link Group, 1300 69 2000.
Hi, I'm Ken Lay, Chief Commissioner of Victoria Police. Bushfire arson kills and injures people. It destroys property and devastates communities and lives. That's why it carries a penalty of up to 25 years in prison. We are on the lookout, but we do need your help. If you see something or know something, please tell us, for all our sakes. Call Crime Stoppers on 1800 333 000 or simply call 000.
Authorised by the Victorian Government. 1 Treasury Place, Melbourne. Spoken by Ken Lay.
Sweetheart, your breakfast's on the table.
I don't want it. Just leave me alone. You're always picking on me.
Ooh, someone needs to vent. Odyssey is the smart ventilation system for your whole home. Just like a refreshing breeze, Odyssey silently exchanges the hot, trapped air for cool, making sleepless nights and tired, moody mornings a thing of the past. To find out more, Visit odysseyair.com.au.
Another Steel Solution, brought to you by Steel Solutions.
When Frank saw the plans for the new retaining wall with all the different heights and angles needed to accommodate this difficult site, he was not fazed. He knew that Steel Solutions would have all the H-steel, end channels and 90 and 45 degree corners in stock, and that they'd cut any special lengths he needed and deliver the job lot to site.
If you need steel, you need Steel Solutions. Bayswater, Springvale and Sunshine West. SteelSolutions.com.au.
18 games in 18 days. The 2014 NAB Challenge is underway on 1116 SEN, Melbourne's home of footy.
Which players will stand out in 2014? Do you have what it takes? Victoria Police is recruiting PSOs now. Google Victoria Police Careers.
On 1116 SEN, you're listening to Sunday Sports Central with Brett Phillips.
27 past 1, this is the local locker room, talking plenty of local footy in the build-up to the 2014 season, all thanks to sportsupport.com.au. Ben Charles is alongside me. We've still got, of course, Lance Whitnell and Danny Cassette to come. 94291116. You can text in 0433981116. Log on to the Facebook tile on the Sports Support website and join the ongoing conversation there. G'day, would you please be able to give the Tarneit Titans of the WARFL a big pump-up? First-year club, still looking for support and juniors to establish a good, strong club in the growing suburb. They played their first practice match on Friday at Sunbury. Good turnout and effort. Well, there you go. There's a pump-up. Tarneit Titans, if you're out that way looking for a club starting up, and would appreciate some players, I'm sure some sponsors to jump on board in the local area. Rumour that I'm making a comeback to Division 3. I've actually never played, but I did get into training at Sandown during the week, and the boy said, geez, you look like you actually could play a game. So you never know. I might just slip into the thirds, Ben. Have a little run around this year. As long as I don't break a collarbone, I might just sneak over the back with a little crumb from the full forward. Now, of course, as I said, we're going to be joined by Lance Whitnell and Danny Cassette a little bit later on. Now, Sports Support, we're going to tell you about a fantastic partnership today. I've partnered with Punt Club, Blue Moon Racing and Luxbet to bring you the world's first ever Punters Club Cup. We are joined by the Punt Club CEO, Jason Neave, who's currently, I believe, we're giving Kangaroo Island a bit of a plug today. He's actually over there enjoying the Kangaroo Island Cup. Jason, welcome.
Yeah, g'day boys, how you going?
Oh, just before we talk some footy, what's the Kangaroo Island Cup like over there?
Well, the Kangaroo Island Cup is magnificent, except for the fact that this morning they called off the races at 9:30. Apparently a bit of mud and wet conditions on the track at the 800, which would have turned the cup into a bit of Tokyo Drift, and they didn't like that too much, so they've called it off.
There you go. What sort of crowd comes along?
Well, there's 2,000 or 3,000 people here, and they're all kicking on anyway. I mean, we worked out, I think there's still something like 112 races to bet on elsewhere, so we're looking at the telly and carrying on regardless.
Very nice indeed. Jason, tell us all about the Punters Club Cup. What is it? And just for our listeners out here today.
Sure. Well, we're actually here with a couple of punters clubs, and I'm sure most of your listeners sort of know of them or have been in one themselves. But we figured out that apart from all the banter to be the best punter inside your own punters club, there hasn't ever been a facility to have a punters club cup where we could work out who the best club in the country was. So we got together with Sports Support and Luxbet and the guys at Blue Moon Racing and Dane Swan, Dale Thompson, and we're going to have a competition to see who can be the best punters club in the land. Okay. Do you think there are many clubs out there, many punters clubs out there? Well, you'd have to think. Well, I mean, I've never been in a footy club that didn't have a punters club, and you know, maybe the wrong sample size in my research group, but every bloke I know I've either been in one or knows of them. So you'd have to think there are, 20 or 30,000 of them going around the country in some shape or another. But I think there's plenty. So we think we'll get a good turnout.
And what sort of money are we talking to participate?
Well, the actual cost to enter is only $1 per person a week, so that's bugger all. But we're putting up, there's probably over 10 grand worth of prizes. So there's a $2,000 cash first prize, and then there's a $3.5 grand sportsman's night for your club, where Dane or Dave will come along and regale the crowd with a few stories. And I think the boys at Carlton Graft have also thrown in 20 slabs as well. God bless them. And on top of that, Luxbet are putting in like $250 a week in bonus bets for whoever the best individual and group punters are each week. So
and the club keeps its kitty, of course. They keep their kitty, and that all works exactly the same as a normal punters club would work.
So the whole point is that they start a punters club just to raise funds for their inter-season trip. So I think the average footy club, if there's 20 blokes putting in $20 a week and they do their thing for the 30-odd weeks of the season, with some pre-season as well, then they'll have over 10 grand sitting in the kitty regardless on normal numbers, and they get to keep all that, and all we charge is $1 a head.
Well, just on that, Jason, we've got some money in the kitty. Any tips ahead for the Blue Diamond coming up?
Well, you're going to think Earthquake's going to do it. They ran the fastest sectional. And, usually when one horse is faster than all the others, it will win. So that's the science behind my tip, is Earthquake.
All right. Very nice work. Well, you enjoyed the Kangaroo Island Cup and all the hospitality there, of course. We'll give some details about how people can get involved. What a place to be, Kangaroo Island. Jason, really appreciate it, and we'll give it a good plug.
It's magic. So I think if you just go to the Sports Support website, you'll be able to find your way there and go from there. But no, get involved.
Good on you, Jason.
Thanks,
Jason Neve there from the Punters Club. So, yeah, sportsupport.com.au. It'd be a great thing for a lot of the clubs to get involved in.
Yeah. Just go to that website. There's a tile there which will have the 2014 Punters Club Cup. You can read about all the details there. If you've got any questions, just give us a call.
All right, 28-2, the local locker room. From the whiteboard this week, Ben, we do catch up with a guy. We had Cameron Cloke on last week. We've been speaking to a number of ex-AFL players making their way back into local footy. We catch up with a guy who's been selected as an All-Australian, the youngest player to reach the 200-game mark at Carlton. He captained the club. He's fielded his footy knowledge and skill right down to local leagues and continues to do so today. And we welcome to the local locker room. He's now the Glenroy coach, the great Lance Whitnell. Lance, nice to have you on the program.
Good afternoon, guys. How are we?
Very well. I think it's just amazing, Lance. I mean, you've been sort of, going back to other levels beyond your Carlton days for the last few years, and we're seeing more and more, aren't we, of ex-AFL players going back to play local footy.
Yeah, there is these days. I think, especially in the EDFL league, I think just about in A grade, I think every club in A grade's got at least one bloke that's played AFL football or been on the list at some stage. So I think the boys, after they play their AFL football, just really enjoy getting back to local footy.
And look, after Carlton, you played a little bit in the Northern Territory, headed back to Laylaw where you played all your junior footy. Was it always an intention of yours to play local footy after AFL?
It was never something that I'd always set out to do, but while I was playing AFL football, I always went back and watched some local football, whether Northern Football League or EDFL Football League. But I really enjoyed the local side of things, so it just sort of panned out that way. And once I finished my AFL career, I certainly went back and I still wanted to keep playing footy, and just at a sort of local level was what I wanted to do. So went back and really enjoyed the time, and I've really had a ball since been playing local footy.
And Lance, you're going to wear the coach's hat. Has that always been something in the back of your mind to go down the coaching track?
Yeah, it probably has. I mean, probably right through my career, I've just really enjoyed sort of the leadership roles that I've had and directing kids and sort of helping the teams get better. So coaching local footy, I'm really enjoying it, and I just really get a buzz out of helping kids and seeing them being better players. So it's something, I'll probably do for a while yet.
And look, off field, the team at Glenroy has done an amazing job over the last couple of years. Efforts by guys like Glenn Clements to build such impressive social rooms, and definitely puts the club in a solid position in terms of functions and events and attracting people to the club. It must be encouraging to know that you have a stable club to be leading at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, the Glenroy rooms, I think they've been up now for 4 or 5 years now, and they're first class. We can actually hold some good functions there. They can have weddings, engagements, you name it. It's a really good facility down there now. So, yeah, good position to have off-field functions. Some of the functions Glenroy hold there, they're sort of second to none, and they really get people behind them. So it's a good way to make some money for your club.
And one of your boys is actually pulling on the Glenroy Guernsey. Is that right?
Yeah, my young bloke Dane, he plays down there in the juniors down there. They've really got a good program. So once I've sort of started coaching the seniors, I found out their program in the juniors, and it was really awesome down there. So I've put him down there, and he's loving it. He played his first season last year and jumped second in the league, best in Ferris. So he loves it down there, and it's really good setup. A lot of blokes get in there and work and help out. The senior boys that play footy down there are down there Sundays helping out. So it's a really good club. So
Lance, runner-up that last year. Can you go one better?
Well, he goes up a year level this year, so it'll be interesting to sort of find out how he goes. So he only goes up to under 12. So.
And you still, as we let you go, you're still keeping a close eye on the Blues, obviously in action yesterday against North Melbourne?
Yeah, I actually didn't get to see the Blues yesterday. I was actually playing some local cricket with Layla Warriors, so I missed out on the Blues. But I think they'll go all right this year.
Yeah, they look good under Mick in the second year, sure to improve. Good to spend a few moments with you. No doubt people can get out to the huddles during the year and listen to you bark the instructions to the Glenroy boys. Good luck, Lance, and I'm sure maybe just a couple of grey hairs might come through at some point.
Yeah, not the grey hairs. I lose them, so I lose the hair before they go grey.
Lance Whitnell joining us, of course, former Carlton captain, of course, had a terrific career and now coaching at Glenroy Footy Club, which is fantastic.
Doing an amazing job with those guys. They were runners-up last year, and hopefully they can go one better.
Benny, we have got one of the most colourful competitors in local footy. He played for 17 clubs, 1,600-odd goals, 5 premierships to his record, numerous representative appearances, and one very unique game as an E.J. Whitten legend.
I can tell you that we got requests from all over Metropolitan Football to have this guy on. WRFL, Southern Footy League, Eastern Footy League, everybody just wanted to get him on for a little bit.
Danny Cassette is the name we're talking about. Danny, great to have you on the local locker room.
Thanks, guys. How are you going?
Going very well. Let's go back all the way to the start, Danny. When did you start playing your junior footy?
I actually started down at Keysborough in the old southwest Gippsland. Played there for a few years and then went across the road and then played the rest of my junior career at Parkmore.
It just seems strange that someone with such a record never really reached the highest level. Did you have a stint at the top grade for any amount of time?
Yeah, I had a stint for five years at Dandenong and Frankston in the VFA, which is now the VFL, and I got a call up from North Melbourne to they requested to put me on their supplementary list so that, back in those days when they had a lot of injuries, they'd call you up, and I played a couple of games there, and then nothing eventuated from that. Then I went back to Dandenong in the VFA and went on from there, and then got a call from Collingwood in 1992 saying that they'd like me to come down and do the pre-season training, and I was wrapped. Obviously, the team that I follow, and did it for I hung in there for about 6 weeks. And then it was sort of around October, November, so they were pretty hot. They were pretty hot days, and they were training every day. And I just, unfortunately, I pulled the pin on it. It was just, I guess it was too hard, and I wasn't committed and lazy and all those sort of things.
So I'm guessing after a bit of a sniff at the highest level, you're approached by a lot of local clubs. This is something that obviously continued for a while.
Yeah, well, I actually went back to Dandenong and played a few more years there, and then we folded, and then I went and had a year at Frankston under Robert Mace, and from then on, I had a couple of mates from Dandenong that was coaching Bayswater, and it just went on from there.
Daddy, the most goals you ever kicked in the game, how many?
Just a lazy 16.
Lazy 16, just under the breath. Now, we remember you playing in that E.J. Whitten Legends game. What are your memories of that game and actually, getting a chance to play on that stage?
It was pretty exciting. Actually, my son wanted me to play in it, and I thought, my boys could see me play on the big stage. It'd be something that they'd never ever see again. And they entered me into it, and they had to have a reason for why you're requesting somebody. And the reason my son put in was, it was about 2006 or 7, I think. I played up at Rennie in the Careen Footy League, and I held the record at that stage for kicking the fastest 100 goals in a season. And I got a call up from the E.J. Whitten people, and they said, we would like to have you play in the game.
Well, it sounds like it's been an amazing career, mate. We always finish this program. We didn't last week for obvious reasons, but we finish this program with a 1, 2, 3 vote. So for the one vote, mate, who's the best player you've ever seen or played with?
Played with, I'd have to say, apart from myself, Ryan Hendy. And a pretty good mate of mine I played in an undefeated premiership at Dufton with.
Oh, right.
And played against John Hines from Edithvale and Frankston. I think he had a stint at Carlton as well. Yep. He was probably the only fullback that's probably ever kept me to 0 goals.
And for the 2 votes, mate, the hardest and toughest player you've ever played on?
That's a hard question. To be honest, I don't think there is one. They're always scared of me.
The footy trip hero. We're going to ask you about that for the 3 votes. Danny?
Never been on one.
Never?
For the pure and simple reason I just know what sort of trouble I would have got up to.
Yeah, exactly right. Are you running around this year, Danny?
Not at the moment, but I'm currently trying to get fit. I'm thinking of having a run down at my old club at St Kilda City, but I haven't showed my face down there yet. But I don't generally show my face at training up until about late March anyway.
Danny, thanks for coming on. It's some amazing stats that we read out. 17 clubs, 1,600-odd goals, 5 premierships, been a great stint in local footy, and really appreciate you coming on as part of our Local Legend series.
Can I just touch on one thing before we go?
Go on.
Just over the years, actually, I probably won't go into that. No, we'll let it go.
Rightio. Thank you, Danny. Gee, I was kicking back, the feet on the desk, anticipating a story. Danny Cassette joining us, local legend. There he is.
Thanks, Danny. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Benny. Another big show, sportsupport.com.au/ the Facebook tile.
Yeah, Facebook tile, or you can go onto the Wounded Warrior.
Beautiful.
Just go and have a look at some of those. And also, with the medical supplies, if you haven't got any questions, please just give us a call, and we'll be able to have a chat to you.
And actually, just one before we go, how does it go with kids that have allergies to elastoplast? We go through miles of tape at Hampton Rovers.
Yeah, that's just off the SMS. Yeah, there is, I'm getting delivered 150 sample packs with a new glue that's got no allergens. So, if anybody would like to get a hold of those,